Happy New Year, everybody. Kicking off the new year in style with the fourth season of Cobra Kai. And just wanted to let everybody know, hope they had a happy new year. And, they're ready to start off this brand new year. First video of the new year, figured to be a little bit happy in it and positive, especially since Cobra Kai Season 4 was really good. So if you happen to not know what Cobra Kai is the sequel to the Karate Kid franchise. It picks up starring the antagonist of the first Karate Kid, Johnny Lawrence, and then as time goes on, the original protagonist, Daniel Larusso, joins in, and they kind of become co-leads as they're training these new kids in a new era, going up against the new Cobra Kai, and so on and so forth. So there will be light spoilers for the previous other seasons of Cobra Kai, just so I can really get into like this new season that's come out, and if you want to watch it, it's on Netflix. You can binge all, I think it's 40 episodes. It's 10 episodes per season, so you can binge all 40 episodes right now if you feel like it. And yeah, that's about it. So let's get into this review of Cobra Kai Season 4. So where we last left off with Season 3 of Cobra Kai is that um, John Kreese, the original leader and sensei of Cobra Kai, took it back over, is training up all these new kids to be bullies and monsters. And, Daniel and Johnny decide to blend their two karate styles together to train the next generation so they can take down Cobra Kai and keep the valley safe from creating a new generation of more or less thugs. And you know, I really enjoyed this season. Not my favorite season, but I think it did work really well in upping the ante. Each season of Cobra Kai does a great job of upping the escalation. In season one, it's mainly just Johnny and Miguel. He's training Miguel and a couple of his friends in, karate in order to help them defend themselves because they were kind of picked on and bullied. And then, you get into season two and Daniel gets involved and creates Miyagi-Do, and he starts training up his kids, and some of them are friends, and some of them have conflicts with each other. And then, get to season three, and John Kreese comes back and he starts taking over Cobra Kai, and things get more, escalating as like the new members of Cobra Kai that didn't train under Johnny are more violent and more dangerous, kind of like how Cobra Kai was back in the 80s in the first Karate Kid movie. So really does a good job building escalation each season. And this season has probably the highest stakes of all four of them because Daniel and Johnny make a bet with John Kreese that if they lose the upcoming All Valley tournament, then they will have to quit being karate senseis and let John Kreese and Cobra Kai be the dominant karate studio in the All Valley, which would end up having Kreese teaching this new generation of kids how to act just like him and how to act like bullies, like how Johnny was in the original Karate Kid movie. And that's something that obviously no one really wants. It's weird because this is like a very small scale, conflict, but the show does a really good job of making it feel grand and having you care about everything that's going on for the simple fact that it has great character writing. Not everyone gets, in-depth character development. Some of the characters are, they're just side characters. They're just there to, push the plot along sometimes for some jokes, comedic relief. But, the characters that do get the spotlight, that people do really care about, they get fleshed out. Even when they're not the main focus, they still maintain their character and lessons that they've developed over the course of the series to help out other leads as a part that are a part of the series. And I think that's really nice. I think if you wanted to look at a character that best shows development in a very complex way, just look at Eli, aka Hawk. He goes through so many different changes in emotions and personalities, and none of it feels out of place. It all feels 100% natural, and it's probably my favorite character in the show. I'm sure he's a lot of people's favorite character. Hawk is just cool guy, um, and I like seeing his emotional development. Now, the season did introduce a new, I'm going to say two new characters because one of them was just comedic relief, and that character was Anthony Larusso. For the past three seasons, Daniel LaRusso's son Anthony was just a little snot-nosed brat that everyone kept making jokes about how he's just a little piece of crap that nobody really likes because he's so entitled and all this other nonsense. Like, he just thinks he's better than everyone else. And Then you get into this season and he actually has a storyline. He has a character arc, and you see that the like underhanded jokes that we've been getting are like a legitimate problem now because Anthony has become a bully to this new kid Kenny, who is the little brother of a side character introduced in one of the previous seasons of Cobra Kai, who is so it connects Kenny to uh, Johnny son Robbie, and they end up getting a connection, and he ends up getting mixed up in this whole conflict between like Johnny, Danny, and John Kreese because this new kid Kenny ends up joining Cobra Kai to learn how to defend himself from Daniel's son Anthony. So this creates a new, you know, kid, and you get to see like how things are going bad because of these conflicts that these adults have created, these older people have created. Like it's not just affecting them anymore. The longer the series goes on, it affects more and more people, and I really like it because, like I said, in season one, it was very much just Johnny and Miguel, and it kind of just stayed in like a small pocket. Like I think if I remember correctly, the first All Valley tournament, like there weren't that many people involved in it. It was just like, Robbie was in it, Miguel was in it, and like a couple other people from like Cobra Kai and Miyagi. That was about it. There weren't that many people. Now they're like full established teams by this season. Like there's like three separate teams now. All of them have like 5 to 10 people a part of them. Like this, it's become a big thing, and I really enjoy that because at first it's like, you see the original Karate Kid, it's just Johnny and Daniel. It's their conflict, it's their issue that they need to settle. And then, Cobra Kai season one, it's just Miguel and Robbie, their main focus, and then their friends get brought into it in season two. And then this new group of kids get brought into it in season three. And now it's this huge thing that's affecting younger generations as it goes on. It started with Johnny and Danny, then it was like Miguel and Robbie, and now it's this younger kid Kenny and Daniel's son Anthony. So it's like trickling down, infecting everybody, and I think that's really cool. It's a nice way to show how the threat rises throughout everything. The action in Cobra Kai is always great. I love it. Look all practical. Do long shots. There are cuts, but still, I've seen some of the behind the scenes that they hook some of the actors up to wires and everything like that, so that they're able to do like all these kicks and flips and everything. And I think that's great. I wish more movies would do that. I would rather see, you know, have a movie do wire work for characters, for actors, so that they can do their own stunts rather than CG, or do like stunt people with like a bunch of different cuts and edits where so that, like, oh no, you can't see their face because clearly that's not XYZ actor or whatever. I really like this because it allows you to see the action and enjoy it a lot more. Because Cobra Kai, one of the best parts of Cobra Kai are the fights. Like if you hear a hardcore fan of Cobra Kai talk about it, they'll probably mention it's like, oh man, the school fight from season two, best scene of the series, or the house fight season three, awesome, because like the fights are just really good. They're not just good from a practical standpoint or a choreography standpoint, they're also good for an action standpoint. I said that wrong. I'm going to say emotional standpoint. Emotional action. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Because every character in Cobra Kai has a stake in it. For the most part, each character has like some sort of antagonist that they have to face, and this is a gripe, but also a positive at the same time. It's usually the character who has the most growth that ends up winning these fights, at least when they matter. That is, like, if you're in like episode one and you're like, oh man, the person who's morally right and like needs to grow and will teach both characters a lesson by winning the fight, probably not gonna win. But then when it comes down to like the final episode, it's like these two characters get into a fight. It's like, okay, this character's gonna win, and I kind of guessed that in the final episode of season four. It was like two characters about to fight, and I'm like, okay, I know you're gonna win because you have the most emotional gain from winning this. So that is a gripe, I guess, that unpredictability isn't really there about who would win a fight, but that happens all the time. And I feel like the emotional stake makes you not care about being able to guess who it is. It's like, I would say it's akin to like a whodunit movie. They leave all the clues for you there, and even if you figure it out, it's still fun going along the journey to see the characters find out who it is, and on rewatches you still enjoy it. So it doesn't really kill the show. All in all, Cobra Kai season four was really great. Honestly, I don't really think I'm gonna go into spoilers really that much at all. No, I'm not gonna go into spoilers for the rest of season 4 or anything like that. Um, I'm just looking forward to season 5 because I'm sure it's gonna get it. I mean, the show is like one of Netflix's top breadwinners, I'm pretty sure, so I'd highly doubt it's gonna get canceled after this season. I mean, hell, the end of season 2, they renewed it for 2 more seasons. So, this show's probably gonna stick around for a while, and I'm really glad at the way they're escalating the threat for the future of the series. I guess one last thing, one gripe that I will say I do have with the show is that as the series goes on, they're adding more and more characters. It feels like they're kicking out other characters in progression because at the end of season 2, Miguel breaks his back, and sorry, back broken thinking of Batman, Bane snapping his back. I'm a nerd. Just let it slide. Please, I'm begging you. But Miguel breaks his back, so in season 3, he's kind of out of commission for a while, and like he goes through recovery. And then now in season 4, granted emotional reasons, it feels like he's taking a backseat, and so does like other characters like Robbie. I feel like and Dimitri, like they used to have more of emotional stake, so they were around more and they got into more conflicts. But in this season, it felt like a lot of characters were taking a back seat as they were going through the training arc leading up to the tournament, so they could like save all the action for those last 2 episodes, which I can understand that. But I hope in the future they figure out a better way to like reincorporate these characters into the story with more depth. Because I really enjoy these characters, and I'm just afraid that by the time we get to like the climax of the series, like the last couple of seasons, that it's going to be like, all right, all of the antagonists have either switched sides because that's where their emotional arcs led them, or they become friends with the person that they originally had conflicts with, so there isn't really a stake in the final fight that would end off the series. Because in season 1, Robbie and Miguel had beef with each other, so that's what led to their fight. In season 2, Robbie and Miguel still had issues with each other, and so did Sam and Tori and and Dimitri and Hawk and all these other characters. They had conflict with each other, which led to the big fight, which had a very impactful ending. Season 3, Tori and Sam were still at each other's throats. Hawk and Dimitri needed to hash out their things. Like there was a lot of depth within the combat of the series that gave emotional growth to everybody. So I'm hoping that as it goes on, we don't really run out of antagonists that the characters have an emotional connection to in order to, execute the plot with cool action like it has in the past. So that's my one fear that I have with Cobra Kai going forward. I hope it doesn't go on too long so it reaches that point. But so far, they haven't let me down. I've enjoyed every season so far, and I'm looking forward to the future. So, like I said at the beginning, have a happy new year, kicking off the new year in style. So, do me a solid, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you like Cobra Kai, or let me know if you like the Karate Kid in general. I'm a fan of the series. I've seen the original Karate Kid and the remake with Jaden Smith. I still have to see Karate Kids 2 and 3, and I know those are relevant to Cobra Kai, but it is what it is. I'll get to them at some point. So, yeah. Remember, folks, you're innocent till proven villainous, and have a great 2022.